Hi, welcome back. I'd like to talk to you about fall in Tokyo, but more specifically, the city of Shibuya, which is the host for the district of Harajuku, which happens to be the #1 location I'm recommending that you visit this fall if you happen to be in the vicinity of Tokyo. It also happens to be my favorite urban area on the planet, and you can really feel the vibe, the atmosphere, everything that sets this destination apart the moment you get off of that train. And then as you progress through your adventure, you're going to see the architecture, which is modern, posh, especially on the back streets of Omotesando, which happens to be a wealthier part of town, and everything that comes with that, the pristine, clean, well-organized nature of that district. It comes with some high-end shopping if you happen to be into that. And then just a stone's throw away, you have Yoyogi Park, which is a literal 180 of the hustle and bustle that you have just experienced. And because you are in the Harajuku area, you can see some of that crazy fall fashion, the fall colors, which are absolutely stunning in Japan this time of year. And of course, the relaxed atmosphere that comes with the park. A lot of people go there to relax and have picnics. It's absolutely incredible. Now, if you do happen to catch a little bit of rain, which is not very common in the fall, another benefit of going this time of year, you can walk to Shibuya Crossing, which is only 15 minutes away on foot. And if it even happens to be in the nighttime, you can combine that Shibuya Crossing experience in the rain with the neon lighting, everything. It's a bit of a recreation of our hot chocolate on a cold day experience. And speaking of food, you can also grab a hot bowl of some of the best ramen you've ever had while you're people watching, whether it's rain or sunshine or whatever the case may be. Shibuya City has a lot to offer in that regard. Now, cherry blossoms, they're great. They're fantastic. Have you tried cleaning them off your car, though? I'm kidding. But, fall is definitely my favorite time of the year to visit Japan. Spring season is a close second, but in the fall, the humidity levels really drop quite a bit, which makes even a hotter day more bearable. Again, the rain season subsides quite a lot. You might still catch an off day here and there. And for the most part, the colors in the fall are going to blow your mind away. The very first time I went in the fall, I thought all the Instagram images were just purely Photoshopped until I realized the colors were as true to life as they appeared. So enough talk. Let's step off that proverbial train and enter Harajuku and see all of that up close and personal. Through what used to be the old exit of Harajuku Station, the first thing you're going to see when you cross the street is the famous Takeshita Street. Now, pre-COVID level tourism is just about back and forth, and the endless waves of people passing through the area are but an amalgamation of the ebbs and the flows of this district and the surrounding area in general. Now, also, due to the congestion, masks are still very much a thing in Tokyo. They've always traditionally been a thing in Japan in general. But now is not the time to go against the grain, and as a result, I would strongly recommend that you still carry a couple pairs with you. So if you're passing through a part of the city, or you're taking the metro or transit where you're noticing that all the locals or the vast majority of them are still wearing masks, that's precisely where you're going to want to put on your pair. You don't want to be the one that's sticking out too much and seemingly being disrespectful of the consideration for everyone else's health. Now, as far as Takeshita Street is concerned, there is a lot to do here in terms of shopping, snacking. However, this area is a little too busy for my liking. I do like to pass through it occasionally just to be part of the experience, but I very much prefer the quiet side streets of Harajuku and Omotesando. That is where you're going to experience a lot more of what makes Harajuku unique, as you will see a lot more variety as far as the local shops are concerned, and not so much necessarily those that are targeting or are catering to the tourist market. And that of course ranges across the entire spectrum of shopping, not just fashion, but unique gadgets and electronics. And of course, as I mentioned, there are a lot of luxury brands to be had in this part of the city as well. Now with that, there are plenty of awesome little bars where you can stop in for a quick drink, sit on a patio, chat with the locals and the tourists alike. I have met people from all over the world just casually sitting down to grab a quick beer, and that is such a cool, relaxed vibe, which I strongly gravitate towards. If you're anything like me, you will definitely have a good time in this part of town. If you get tired of the crowds, you can always swing back up towards Harajuku Station. You can grab a coffee and a snack at the coffee bar in front of the entrance to the Meiji Shrine, where the large torii gate happens to be located. Now I have to admit, I have walked past this coffee shop countless times in the past and never bothered to go in. I needlessly assumed that it was just another coffee shop like the millions of other coffee shops that happen to be in the Harajuku district. However, this was the exception. I walked in out of curiosity, and I must admit they make a killer matcha latte, and the cake was also up to standard. The Meiji Shrine is definitely worth a peek as well if you have never been there before. However, considering I've stopped by at least a half dozen times, this time around I took a quick right to the right of the coffee shop, that is, and walked about 100 meters to the entrance of Yoyogi Park. The park itself is massive considering the limited space available in Tokyo, and depending on the season, there are tons of beautiful flowers all around the various walking paths in the park. There are, of course, tons of places for you to sit. There are ponds, there are fountains, and an endless amount of spots where you can just relax. You can even break out a picnic like a lot of the locals do, or you can just take in the sights and the sounds and the fresh air, being surrounded by all the greens and the trees. It is truly an incredible experience. Now you will also spot quite a few pets. There is a dog park included in the back end of Yoyogi Park, and the occasional slightly more unique pet on a leash. A lot of people like to bring in and show off their cute critters at Yoyogi Park. However, like I mentioned, fall is truly a great time to visit. This photo was taken during one of my fall trips, and I feel like it does a great job of communicating the overall energy and the vibe that you can expect to see and participate in when you visit this park. It was also the grand prize winner in a Japan photo contest, which I am ecstatic about, needless to say. With a bit of rain coming down, it was time to take my own advice and make my way through the back streets of Harajuku and Omotesando once more, this time towards Miyashita Park.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep.
Now, Miyashita Park is an amazing shopping complex. For lack of a better word, it's the fanciest mall that you have ever seen, and as a result, it's going to come with a food gallery, plenty of high-end shopping. There's an LV store on the main floor, for example. However, what I really love about this place is the rooftop Starbucks, which on a clear night is a fantastic spot to spend a couple minutes with a hot drink in your hand and observe the waves of people flowing by on the streets below. Just a stone's throw away, we are basically back at the Shibuya City core where the Shibuya crossing happens to be. And guess what? On a rainy day, you can partake in that sea of umbrellas, crossing that street into the neon lights on your left-hand side. And that is precisely also where we are going to be going for that bowl of ramen I promised, which is perfectly suitable, again, for the weather and to keep our hunger at bay. With our stomachs full and as night begins to descend, it's time to head back into the city for one more look before wrapping it up for the day.
Baby, don't stop. Got the key to the lock. We in our own zone. Make yourself at home. Get to know mine on the inside. Can meet at yours next time. And you feel refreshing. You don't wanna go slow, for sure. We both already know your place is my place. Now my place is your place. Let's face it, baby. You know all the places. My place is your place. Your place is my place. Just face it. No one knows my places like you do. Your places like I do. My place like you do.
If you've watched this far, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it greatly. I hope the video brought you some insight as far as the Harajuku area is concerned, but also the nearby points of interest, Yoyogi, Omotesando, and kind of the Shibuya city at large, if you will. This is truly my #1 favorite urban destination on the planet. And as a result, I feel confident recommending it regardless of season. It doesn't matter if you're not there in the fall time. Whenever you happen to go, you're going to have a great time. And if you found value in this video, please do consider subscribing. There's also a very good chance that you're going to see me loitering around Harajuku just at random times of the year. And if that's the case, don't be shy, come say hello. Again, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.